You're listening to the RE Social Podcast with your hosts, Andrew and Vince from AnVi Invest. For more information, go to AnViInvest.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of RE Social Podcast. Today, we have our guy, the one, the only, Joe. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Yeah, people who don't know, can you tell them what do you do, Joe?
As little as possible to make as much as I can. No.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He's a bouncer,
no,
guys.
I do.
He's a bouncer.
I'm a bouncer, yeah. That's why the wide shoulders, right? No.
Yes.
No, I'm actually a real estate photographer, media. Basically, that's, how would I say it the easy way? I help you guys make you look better when it comes to your photos and stuff like that, when you're investing in properties and trying to sell them or get people to list them for rentals or whatnot. All the media, the photography, the drone, the videos, floor plans, whatnot. So that's it in a nutshell.
So for people who, just tuning in, they're like, bro, I got an iPhone and, I'm good to go. I don't need Joe with his fancy, smoozy cameras and the angle. So what do you tell for those people? Like, do they need it? Is it a necessary or no?
It's a couple things. I know you guys are an investment show, so the easiest way to say it with iPhones are great. Galaxies are great. They take great pictures. I can work on a car too, but at the same time, I'm not a mechanic. So it's always best, obviously, if you go with somebody with an iPhone, you're going to get really good pictures, but you're not going to get like high dynamic range. You ever seen somebody take a picture with their iPhone in a darker room? You get the outside nice and bright, but the inside doesn't come out nice and bright. So you don't have that contrast between the outside and the inside that makes it look good. You can't do that with an iPhone. You got to have a professional photographer come in and either do bracketing or use flash or do something, professional editing. And the other thing too is a lot of times when people use their iPhones, they'll shoot kind of at an angle because that's just what we're used to, which makes all the lines in the house kind of fall in or fall out. So it kind of comes out weird. You could take, iPhones are great for like a quick, hey, I want to get a couple pictures just to put up something like but I wouldn't do a full house with it. It's like shooting a wedding. I could shoot a wedding with an iPhone too, but I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I totally love that. And I've experienced that. So for me, I have taken, since I'm kind of like the main guy that runs the ball when we close the deal and I'm getting the furniture, it's just like 2 or 3 weeks of just, this is all I do is setting up the home. What I usually do is I try to schedule you and I try to time it to where it's like, okay, I think I'll be done this date. All the furniture will be in, boxes thrown away, cleaner comes in as soon as possible. And then our guy, Joe, to come in and make it look like just another level of appealing. And so for me, I actually will usually grab my phone and I've got like a pretty top of the line camera in terms of phones. And I go in there, I take photos. In fact, the camera we're using now, as you guys can see, it's pretty decent quality. You should be watching this in 4K if you're watching on YouTube. I'll use this actual camera. This is a professional level camera. I'll still be like at 10% level. When Joe goes in, I don't know how you do it. I don't know what you know, but it is definitely a huge, huge difference. The reason why I do my own photos is only if I can't get Joseph in there like right away. You guys gotta understand, we are hustling super hard. We started with nothing, been an escrow for basically 6 years straight, and started off highly leveraged. It's getting more cushiony now, but we were just scrapping and throwing everything in it and on a budget for the furniture and everything. So the point is I would get it. I would post at least, because I think on Airbnb it's like 5 photos minimum. I just get a few just so I could qualify to launch and at least get it out there until you could get in there. And then when you would get in there, I'd just be like, it was always a really nice, like, it made me appreciate you that much more seeing the before dingy, like, and I would always think they were like great. And I would like touch them up in like some garbage free app online. And then you would just send like a batch and be like,
there you go.
Yeah. So it's night and day. I wonder if in post we can have like our editor like show some before and afters. We might try to do something in the liner notes, but yeah. So all I have to say is you do an amazing work. Really appreciate you. And so I wanted the audience to understand, this is why we're having Joseph on here, even though he's not like, the real estate investor guy, he has a specialty in real estate photos. And one of the things that was for me, I'm always kind of watching like who's doing what, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I remember one of the first properties you showed up to, you just kind of came at it with confidence and you started like, you're like, this is Airbnb. I'm like, yes, cool. You like started setting out bowls and setting up glasses and making it look like you just went that extra mile. And that was wonderful. So I wanted the audience to understand that it's not just like, oh, a photographer, but no, the right photographer. And if they're not going that extra mile, they're not setting out glasses, they're not, trying to really make it look another level, then find that guy, find that girl, So.
Well, yeah. And like with the real, Airbnbs are great examples. You want to make, everything you want to tell a story anyways. That's my job. Like you were saying with Airbnb, going in there, setting out the dishes. Nobody wants a picture. When I'm looking at an Airbnb to rent, I could tell the difference on the pictures by how much the person who's renting the Airbnb cares. It makes a huge difference. You got somebody in there that you can see they walk through and they've taken pictures with their cell phone. They've got dirty dishes, or they've opened up the cabinets and, hey, we have dishes. Hey, we have soap. Here's here's some laundry detergent. It makes such a better impression when I'm looking. I try to see things through my side where if I'm looking on the MLS for a property, and I've done that before too, it's that money shot, that first shot, and then the rest that just follow it, like you said, those other 5 that kind of cascade right after it, that really gets somebody in there to look, because you don't have the right pictures. People aren't going to look at your properties. And like you just said, setting everything out makes a huge difference. I want them to come in and go like, oh yeah, I could stay here for a few days easily. And that second guess, oh, do they have a microwave? Oh, do they have an ironing board or an iron or a hairdryer or things like that? Little things that, families need to know so they don't have to lug all that stuff with them. Good size refrigerator, perfect. Water filters, cool. Toys for the pool if you got a pool or something like that. Games, all those things make a huge difference than just snapping a picture with your cell phone and sticking it up there. Like you said, though, it's perfect because it gets you out there, but it gets it done. And then you'll see the revenue will just increase immensely.
For the record, I don't think we've ever been booked off of my cell phone photos. I think it was just like it gets launched, Airbnb team gets on it. I think it usually is a turnaround about 24 hours. Again, it's just me trying to get it out there and get rented as soon as possible. But I don't think it's ever been rented with my phone photos, my camera photos ever, not one time. So that is to say,
you got a great camera on your cell phone, right?
I got a dude, right? But I don't have that skill set. I don't have the eye. I kind of have a creative eye, but it's just not even the same. So it's important. It's extremely important. And I like what you're saying about, on the other side of it, even just think about it. Anyone listening should think, I'm going to go stay in Tennessee. I'm looking at a property, a 4-bed, 3-bath. If you see a bunch of cell phone photos and just dingy photos that are like, okay, and then you see another home that's maybe a little bit like with less amenities, but quality photos, which one are you choosing?
Right.
Because you know, if that guy or gal hosting cares enough to just go that extra mile, spend the few $100, you know that they're going to take care of you as a guest. It's a reflection of the person and the expectations.
Well, am I staying in somebody's back house that they just have and they're like, hey, let's make a few dollars?
Yeah.
Or am I staying in somebody's house that they're like, hey, let's turn this into an Airbnb. Let's make this a business. I mean, it's the quality of the difference is just huge. I like the quote that people say sometimes, if it's, if you think it's expensive to hire a professional, wait till you hire an amateur. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression before, right? But yeah, it's so true because you're going to lose so much more by not having that professional done.
Yeah,
so.
A good thing to know is also people who are listening is, before the pandemic, Joe and, Drew probably know this, you could get away with just having some kind of crappy photos and, like 5, 6, 7 years ago when there was not a lot of competition. Yeah, now, short-term rentals or Airbnb, as most people call it, has become pretty competitive. So it's it's not very inefficient anymore. Like we are seeing that right now in our properties. Our properties are pretty decent. It's pretty good. And even then, we're like not getting as much booking. So we literally blocked it out for 3 weeks. We're doing complete renovation on one. That's what Joe's actually going to. So we can just talk about that. Is what it is, you know, we make about $5,000 on the property a month, roughly, and it costs us about $7,000 a month, right? So we lose $30,000 on this property every year. Like that's just a flat basic. So now, you know, we could do this. You can't win with every properties. We have a few properties, right? So that one is a loss for sure. But we talked about it and we decided, okay, let's just spend like $20,000 on this. Let's put new floors, new paints, new bathrooms, just put water filters, just make it, pimp it out a little bit, more lights. And then we'll get Joe in there. He's going to come with the drone, get some cool accents here and there, like get some pictures. And then it becomes like the top of the premium for this market, for the cycle in this area. And let's just see what happens, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And the property we're talking about, too, is great location. So you want to make sure you let people know about the area, how close it is to theme parks or what have you. Letting people know when you have an Airbnb or VRBO or whatever they are, the short-term rentals. Like I said, it's just amazing. I always encourage people that have the Airbnbs and stuff like that, go on Airbnb, pretend like you're looking as a guest, and look at what you're seeing. Look at those pictures. What's interesting you to click on that one versus that one? Like you said, we could take two identical ones. And like you said, maybe we'll have to do this. You go and take pictures before me. I'll go take pictures. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but this is what I do for a living. And if you put one on VRBO or something like that, one on Airbnb, see who gets more hits. Or just click them in there slightly different, change the address, and just to see the algorithm, how it works out, which one's good. There's a reason why sex sells. You want the pretty girl. You want that money shot.
Yeah.
So people go, that looks like a cool place. Let's check that out. Oh, that's got a great pool. Oh, let's check that out. Versus, all right, what is in that pool? Is that a body? No.
Yeah.
No.
And I got a question for you. Do you go in and post and like touch up things? And if so, like, what is that process like?
Yeah. So when I'm doing rentals, I have a little bit more freedom to basically do what I want to do. That's why I set the tables up. I like to get more almost like an architectural style of photography where I'm not just shooting a big room. Hey, there's a big living room. Great. Hey, there's a big bedroom. I want to show people the comforts and things like that. And yeah, every once in a while I can go in there and bring a comforter down a little bit further if I needed to, or, change out a plant or something, something that we're not going to get in trouble for, basically. But going through and touching up things that either one, I know the owner's already doing. He's like, I don't know if it's you guys or somebody, hey, we're going to paint this wall. So it's got some tears in the, what do people used to use? Wallpaper. Yeah. No problem. Or, there was a picture hanging there.
So you can go in there and you can like put an accent wall in post?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't us, but that's interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a little bit more time and effort and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we can do almost anything. When you're selling on the MLS, you almost can't do anything. Other than a big thing that I do with all my pictures, whether it's MLS or Airbnbs, a lot of times, is I'll hide cords. Sometimes you'll have a lamp on a stand behind you by the bed, and this cord just zipping out around.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one of those things in post. I'll go in and be like, all right, let's just clean that up and
I like that.
Get rid of it. Or when I shoot for real estate, sometimes people still live there, and shoes are underneath the bed, or something's in the corner that we just can't up and move or whatnot. So yeah, sometimes I'll take things like out.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that was
a nice gray day. We'll have blue skies.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's a segue that I kind of wanted to possibly bring up. It really doesn't involve you in particular, Joseph, but we had bought a property way out in the San Bernardino County area, which is why I didn't call you for this. But this property was just such a pain, and we basically were either trying to sell it at one point, getting nothing, trying to get it rented out. We have property management, and nothing was happening. And we put a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of effort into it. And the weirdest part is we had a duplex just 2 blocks down the road that was doing great. And so I'm like, it can't be the area. Like, what is it? Like, I could
literally behind the house.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it. I was just racking my brain. I'm like, this is a bigger property. It's a bigger lot. There's this and this. Anyways, I'm racking my brain, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna figure this out, because we were losing a lot of money on this property for months.
We were losing $50,000 a year on it.
Yeah. Anyways, yes. So obviously, big pain point. I roll up my sleeves and I'm looking at it. And I finally tell our management company, like, hey, I think it's the photos. Like, look at the tree is dead in the front and this and that. And they were like, no, they were poo-pooing it. They were basically shooing me away, saying, you don't know anything. Totally going to like brag a little bit, but I'm just hoping this is a good message for anyone listening who's an investor. So,
well, it makes a difference. Yeah. Well, kind of with that.
I'll just tell you guys exactly what I did. I rattled the phones. I am a licensed realtor with Keller Williams, and in the same city that we still own this property. I called and I said, hey, what's up? It's Andrew. I'm an agent. This and that. How are you, Kathy? Oh, great to meet you as well. I've never met anyone from this office, but it's a chain. And so I took advantage of, okay, I already have this built-in connectivity. And I also, because I'd hired you and I'd hired other photographers in the past, by the way, and you were just, it was like, it wasn't even close, so
wasn't your first?
I'm being so sincere right now, by the way. Like, I'm not just because you're the guest, like, no, I'm just being honest. You crush it every time, which is why we keep going in and like, hey, Joseph, how we doing? That's why I wanted you on the podcast. Anyways. And so, I'd already tested a bunch and you were by far the best, because photography is nuanced, you guys. As somebody we host events for charity and stuff all the time. I have photographers that I know are that guy for events, that guy for headshots, that guy for real estate. These are very different pockets, I've noticed. It's very hard. I've not seen too many photographers cross over and just nail everything. It's so nuanced. But the point is I made a point to call that office because I wanted the real estate photographers that they have. I told them what was happening. They gave me 2 contacts. I called the first one. Super nice guy, reasonable prices, got him out there that day of the phone calls. Like, okay, I like this guy already. He goes out there just like you, crushes it, sends it all organized, boom. And I'm like, and he did, and I know he did some stuff in post. He had like the pink sky and the thing. And anyways, and I looked at him and I was like, this is a very different house. And posted it on Zillow, paid the $30. If you pay $30, there's this artificial boost that happens where they kind of get you in the eyes. And we were flooded with applications. And I'm just like, what? The whole time I'm completely confused, because I'm telling you, it was zero. And it's just email after email to our property management. Like, hey, anything happening? Nope. Like, months of that. And all of a sudden we had a multiple wonderful qualified. I was super confused. And to this day, we have a wonderful family in there who just re-signed the lease, I believe. Is that?
Yeah, they re-signed it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they take care of the home. They're quiet. It helps. I think the husband's like a handyman of some sort.
Yeah, they're contractors, and they have people from the church, and they go and do construction.
Yeah.
Basically, this property, it's in Inland Empire. For people who is by Redlands.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a terrible area. It's not like Newport Beach, but for that area, that property, it rents for $5,000 a month. It's just one. What is it, like a 4-2 in the front and a 1 studio in the back?
Is it a 4-2 or 3-2? I don't remember.
Yes, it's not like it's a huge lot.
It's been so passive that I can't remember the specs on this house.
Yeah,
it's been so great since we got those tenants in there a year ago. But all I have to say is, and again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying I just was like, what if I did the photos different? That was really most of it. And that was all it needed. Well, granted, we also spruced it up. We put a lot of money into fixing it up for sure.
Yeah, we spent that.
But yeah, and the point is photos, you guys. Do not overlook photos for everything you do. Even if you're, pimping out your Instagram and trying to, make a splash in any realm of what you're trying to do. You have a new cleaning business, you're a real estate team who coaches and raises capital for the next deal like us. It doesn't matter. Double down into the actual media side, from the photographer, videographer, editor. Go premium, pay the bill up front, and everything will be a reflection of that. When people see the quality, they're going to be like, oh my God. Speaking of, we're actually remodeling this very room. I actually hate this room. And I say it all the time. That's ironic because I love guitar. Like, this is cool. I want to keep this for sure. But we want to redo the room. We're going to have new lights and the whole thing. And, it's just more money that we got to pull out of somewhere. But the point is how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you're not willing to just spend a couple extra bucks on the right guy, then you're going to lose a lot more. It's the same thing with anything else. So, all right, that's me on my soapbox. I'll step down. All I have to say is you're the man. Thank you.
Right. I appreciate that. But no, you're absolutely right though. Cause, like I do, obviously the majority of people I deal with are realtors. So, and I get it, you're making commission and you got to split the commission with somebody else and give some part of it to the broker. And, everybody thinks, 6% or 5% or whatever of $1 million house. Awesome. And I get realtors are like, yeah, but by the time it gets actually down to me, it's not pocket change, but it's, I'm not making the money people think I'm making. So I don't want to go spend a couple $100 to hire a professional. And you kind of like the way you were just saying though, too, it's okay. You don't spend a couple $100. You have a listing that's going to sit around for a little bit longer. You don't have clients calling you because they see how your pictures, that's your portfolio. I always like to make sure realtors didn't understand that, your photos are your portfolio, basically. I mean, the house, if you can get people in the house, it's probably going to sell. But you got to get people to click on the house. You got to get people to look and go, hey, who's selling this house? I want to go take a look at it. And if the photos, like you said, again, are cell phone photos, clients know that. And it reflects, And the other thing I was going to say too earlier, I go back at something we were talking about a little bit earlier about with photography is an investment, basically. But it's not just investment on the pictures itself. It's also investment in time. You and I've done it, I think, a few times where you've sent me out to a property without you being there. You trust me enough to where you're like, let's go, Joe, go and go shoot it. And great. Like today's a great example. I just did drone photos for one of my clients today. It took me about 15, 20 minutes to do all the photos and stuff like that for drone, just get out there, get it up and stuff like that. But it was a 45-minute drive out there. It was a 45-minute drive back. That's 2 hours that I used of my time to go do all this stuff that my realtor got to spend making more money.
Yep. Hustling phone calls, closing deals. Yes.
Right. Yeah. And you guys try to call you guys sometimes and get a return call. I mean, you guys are busy people,
Just for the record, this is the 8th meeting that I've got today. I started this morning. I've been back to back, and so for me, the time is very valuable. Like, we coach clients now for a few $100 an hour. And, so you're really having a huge opportunity cost and going out there and trying to save a couple bucks when, you could just send the guy out, give him the code. Also, side note, you guys, the first thing you should be doing if you're going to convert something to an Airbnb, or even if you're just going to have multiple vendors in there, from plumbers, contractors, photographers, etc. If you just bought something, is to get a digital lock, digital code.
You do that.
Yeah, number one, that's the first move you should do. Change the locks, get a digital code, and that way you can just get the vendors in there, send it to them, boom. If you want to go next level, you can do what we're about to do, which is go to where it's like controlled by the app, and you can have separate codes for separate vendors. So now you know who's coming and who's going. That's a little more micromanagerial. We don't quite do it at that level, but that's a really a brilliant move, because then I can still be over here closing the next coaching client for $3,000 contract, and then you're out there, making this thing look sexier than I ever could, no matter how much post and editing, and I'd probably make it worse. Exposure, 100%.
Right.
Whatever. So
vibrancy.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that sky.
I did that exposure.
Yeah. See, I got him, dude. I got it.
Right. There's so many things that go into photography. It's crazy. But you study it I've been doing it for 15 years now, professionally. And like you guys, I mean, I've watched you guys. I mean, I think I went to one of your first events that you guys ever did. Back when I was making the switch, some you guys know, I used to be a wedding photographer until the pandemic, and then when the pandemic hit, killed my business. And at that point, I was kind of thinking about switching careers anyways with photography, and I got into real estate and just absolutely love it. The people I meet, I mean, you guys, everybody is just so. I mean, you guys are rushed and busy, but everybody I meet in real estate, it seems like great people. We're all kind of the same mindset.
Is that because you're coming from this like wedding nightmare world? Because we met you through our boy Kayvon, who's actually one of our partners in one of the properties in Mentone, ironically.
He got burned out on the video.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he I remember him telling me like what was happening with his business. He's got this beautiful website. He's telling me about the money. And he's like, bro, I hate it so much. I'm like,
right.
What? Like, you're so good at it? Like, you're making this much money? Like, you're an idiot. But there was no talking him out of that. He was miserable. It's like, not to take a real estate and assets and investment podcast too far off, but like,
right.
Why is it so miserable? Have you thought about investing in real estate and taking advantage of all of those benefits without any of the work? That is something that AnVi Invest not only provides, but has been providing since its inception. With friends and family, we have built an empire and a system of a wealth generating tool that is giving us and our friends and family that leverage in their life to create true wealth. Go to anviinvest.com for more to see if you qualify. And thanks for listening.
It's a lot more work. I mean, like I said, not to, like I said, get too far into it, but yeah, I charge a couple $100 to go out and shoot something. Let's say, $200, $300, $500. My average order, I think, is around $300, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to do 10 orders to make up for one wedding, basically.
Okay.
But at the same time, all the work and effort and the back and forth with the clients, doing shows, advertising, and none of it is repeat business. Luckily,
yeah.
I mean, in a sense, you're coming from the wedding side, you know. So I'm spending. I would say when I was doing weddings, I was spending probably 75% of my time, maybe 80% of my time, finding new clients.
Oh,
and about 25% of it shooting and editing the pictures and all that kind of stuff. But it's mostly just costly.
Yeah.
Real estate.
Repeat business. You're
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
we've used you I don't know, a dozen, maybe 20 times, something like that between there.
Yeah.
So,
and it's just, hey, can we go? And, so yeah, Kayvon and him and he used to shoot with me. He was my video guy. And so we're both happier now. A lot happier. Yeah, but I mean
he's so burned out. He stole his equipment. Like he won't even film his girls growing up. He just it's trauma for him, dude. I assumed it was a lot of the Bridezilla stuff and all that,
No, it's just it's a chaotic day when you're on the day of it, and there's so much afterwards work, and there's video. Oh, this is a whole other podcast, but
sure,
you can't pay me enough to do a wedding video.
Really? Okay.
All of the editing that you have to constantly watch the same scene over and over from different cameras and put it all. No.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But the clients, the people like you guys, I mesh with so much better.
Yeah.
I know we're getting way off topic, so
that's fine.
But
actually, it is on topic. We just had a meeting last night, and I was I kind of paused, and I was like, you know what? We got a lot on our plate. We're making some moves. But I want to take a minute to be grateful because I like everybody that we work with. I really do. We're so let's take.
Well, we just won't work with them otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah, we're lucky to be in a place where it's no, we don't. We won't say we don't like. Well, he will. I'll be really soft-handed, oh, it doesn't work out. But no, it's really nice, man. And I love that. On Saturday when you meet up with Vince to walk the property. you know, you're going to lead with like busting his balls on something. That's what we like, bro. We want that camaraderie, that relationship, having fun on the job. And I think that really just makes it that much more joyful, because what else is the point if you can't just like have a good time?
I get, my clients, my past clients, one and done, didn't really get to know them, maybe see them on Facebook once in a while, but my real estate, my Airbnb clients, it's always, hey, Joe, hey, what's going on? I got one guy, it's not you guys, but I have one guy that brings me, Portatellos or something like that, whatever it is, those pastry puffs things or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
I can't think of the name of it right now. You know what I'm talking about. He brings me a whole box every time. I know, right? I don't expect it. But it's just nice, some of my clients, one of my clients was going to Minnesota. Well, I was family in Minnesota. I'm like, hey, stop by this restaurant, go have, something on me. It's like, just, you build that connection.
Yeah.
With
and like
guys.
We were saying before the shoot, or before the podcast, you and Vince should go to the range, like afterwards. Oh, yeah. We took Vince for his birthday, and the guy could shoot, man. I don't know, like, what's happening. Like, I'm not playing. Like, he had really good grouping. I'm like, I had to like squint. I'm like, that time. Like, bro, like holding a gun. You never shot? Like, I was like, I thought you were straight up lying. I was like, there's no way. You'll have a good time. Yeah, a good day.
You learn fast when you grow up in India.
Right?
You have to know.
You have to know.
Anyways, right? But yeah, just wanted to shamelessly plug you.
I had a quick question for Joe.
Yeah,
sorry. So Joe, I know you do photography, and then what would be the reason? I have a couple of questions. What would be the reason you would recommend going aerial or videos for the Airbnb client who's trying to showcase his property?
Well, okay, so aerial is nice. I always tell people aerial is nice to show off the area. With an Airbnb, if you are in a nice area, show it off. Hey, there's a park right around the corner. Hey, there's some restaurants 2 streets over, something like that, or whatever, or the street down away a little bit. It's a good sized property. It just gives a little bit more depth to the property, basically, so where you can see what's going on a little more. A nice view. Views are always important. I've done quite a few actually down in Huntington Harbor, down in Newport, and things like that, where it's like the aerial drone. Hey, they're by a beach, or they've got a waterway close to them, or just something that, just makes the property just kind of stand a little bit more versus just, hey, I'm in an Airbnb. Okay, cool. It's you want to show off the property and where it's at. And the nice thing about video is using it for reels and TikToks and things like that as well. Redoing them a little bit, because I'm old, I'm a Facebook guy. I'm that era, where a lot of people nowadays, especially, I don't know how these millennials do it and these Gen Zs that are coming up, where they get their money from, but they're always on vacation on YouTube and stuff like that. They're going everywhere. So they're watching YouTube. They're watching, TikTok and everything to see that's a cool looking place. Let's go find that, that's over by Disneyland, or that's over by the Empire State Building, or that's in the middle of Austin. Hey, look at that. I mean, I've done it myself. My wife I will be cruising TikTok and be like, wow, that looks like a cool place. Where's that? And we'll start looking it up. Well, that's
something
Minnesota.
Oh, okay, would be, a big plus is people want to see it first. We've been getting that, on Airbnb, on Zillow. Hey, I want to walk it. And I do feel like if we had a quality like
video and aerial of the view,
it's like, dude, like this is it. Like if I walk it with you, you're going to see the exact same thing. So I'm hoping this mitigates a little bit of that, because for us, it's like a 25-minute drive, So.
Yeah, and that's just it too. Like you said, we'll do this weekend we're going to do a video. So, and one of the videos, and I'm not going to use my cell phone or anything like that, but basically it's
come on, bro.
You know what? Video, it's actually not too bad. But
so we can do like a drone, take out the we have some Mexican markets and stuff, and then come in, and then you can go into the house a little bit, the backyard.
And then we did one for you before, where we actually came in and we did the drone, I think, above, came down the street. And then right through the house, into the studio or whatever.
You were going to come back to my house again. We haven't done that yet. We should do that at some point.
Yeah, we get that. We get that on the books. But yeah, this weekend, like we said, we'll go through and we'll walk just as if we're, a couple or a family or whatever, walk in through the door. Hey, there's a bathroom on the left or right side, here's the kitchen. Oh, that looks great. Because it gives you a different perspective than just still photos. Kind of back to my wedding days. I always told people, they would ask me, because I didn't do video, but they'd ask me, hey, do you do video? I'm like, no, I got some guys that do it. And do you recommend it? I actually do recommend it because photos are only going to take you so far.
Yeah.
But video, that just, it changes everything. It gives you a whole different perspective of what you're seeing and how, like you said, how it flows. I can't show you the flow of the house like a video can. I can't walk you through all the steps. I try to tell a story with my pictures. Here's the entrance, goes right into the living room. Here's a couple nice shots, and then you see the kitchen in the background, and we go there. But that's all photos. But with video, I can actually walk you through and kind of like, oh yeah, check this out. Look, oh, beautiful fireplace. Have that running, and then something on the TV, and the TV is actually moving. It like wakes up the property basically.
I'm actually glad we're talking about this because I'm going to ask Vince an authentic question, since I think he's the one who made the call to book you. And also we've seen some success with it in the Tennessee area.
Yes, I'll fly out there.
Is the plan? You're the man, dude. You'll love Tennessee. It's so fun.
I've been there. I love it.
Hashtag tax write-off.
Yep.
In some of our properties, we actually have, I think it's like the second or third image when you're swiping the Airbnb, it's a QR code. And so you can scan that and it actually opens up to the YouTube video walkthrough. I feel, are we still using that for some of the?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't think we have it for OC properties.
So this is perfect. I'm giving away a massive tip for the audience. QR code. No, this is like take it,
right?
QR code, link it to the video, hire Joe, make it sexy, make it the second image. You're welcome.
Maybe we might spruce up a lot of our properties here, Joe, and then you might have to go in again and do a quick shoot, and then maybe do a video and a drone footage of the area. So maybe people will be more inclined to book, like you guys are saying, instead of, oh, I don't know, maybe, and then they go to the next property, right? I don't want them to go to the next property. I want them to book.
Yeah.
So we need to make that happen when they see the video, like, boom.
Yep.
Wow, nice.
Well, like you say, you got your money shot, which is the opening shot, that key shot that you only get that one shot that shows up at first. They click on that, then you got what I think is it 6 shots or something like that, 5 or 6 shots.
Mm-hmm. And then they can look at more,
that they can see, and then they can click on to see more. Or sometimes on the thumbnail, even they'll have like to where you can swipe or go to the next picture, and there's only so many pictures there. If you get every picture nailed, that's awesome. So you tried it in an Airbnb or something like that. You want to try to tell a story as much as you can, Hey, that looks fun. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that looks like a comfortable bed. Nice shower that I could fit in there. I'm 6'2". I'm not 6'2", but the tub, the kids will love the tub, just if you get them to go to the next picture, like you said, you get them into certain pictures. If you get them all the way down the line, there's a way better chance you're going to get them to book.
In the tub, bubble bath, rubber ducky.
I already have that on my finger.
There we go.
Literally a rubber duck on my shoulder while I'm doing a cold plunge.
Oh, is that from the cold plunge? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Anyway, we're going crazy now. What was your other question?
It's getting hinged now.
Yes, this is the good part. This is the part I fast forward to.
Oh, the other one. What was the other one? I forget, dude. The other one was a good one. So this is for all the people. They're like, bro, all right, Joe's only coming in on the 7th, and the property is going to be up on Airbnb for 2 weeks. What tips can Joe give me with my loser phone I can take that I can put it for the next couple of weeks to get a booking? Like, is there any tips like amateur photography. Like, what can they do? Everybody's got a $2,000 phone in their hands. So can they do something till you step in?
Yeah, I mean, well, the best thing you can do is if you're, hey, the property's not going to be shot for a couple more weeks, but like, Andrew was saying, I want to get some shots up there. Your cell phone, take a ton of shots and take them at different angles, different lengths or whatever. Go to the front of the house, take a good shot straight on, take a side shot. I mean, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a front shot and a side shot. But I mean, you have unlimited photos basically here. You could take 150 photos, pick your best 5 that you like the best, and really dive in. What are the main features of that house? Like,
do you recommend, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, main features, do you recommend that like 0.5 lens option or no? It's like the wide angle, I think.
It can distort it a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I would do is, you're talking about going all the way out, and like on the iPhone, I know I can go all the way out to like 0.5. Take it all the way out, and then bring it back in a little bit. This way you get rid of some of that vignetting and the distortion that's on the side.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, who was it? One of the Muppets taught me, near, far, you just go get closer or back up a little bit until you see how you like it and go, oh, right. Right about there is perfect. I don't have the neighbor's trash cans. I don't have the boat in the yard over there. That's perfect. And you just, like you said, get 1 or 2 shots. You can go into your phone. They usually have editor settings and stuff like that you can do. Don't over brighten it or anything like that. Keep it realistic. But, get a nice clean shot of the front of the house. And it doesn't have to be straight on. It can be at an angle or something like that. Something that looks inviting, how you would want to walk up to it. And then, go inside the house and go, get a good shot of the bedroom. The biggest thing is holding your phone, not like this, or anything like that, just as straight as possible. Sometimes I think in some of their phones can do lines where you'll see like a grid line that go up and down and side to side, or at least pretend like there is one, and just try to get your lines as straight as possible, because otherwise if you're pointing too far up, your lines start going
like a fun house or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And
so
this is just me kind of thinking out loud. Are you like saying maybe take a photo in a corner? I heard someone say that, like, find the corner of the room and then take the shot there, or no?
It depends on the room. Like, because I like corners and I like straight on. To me, okay. I look at the room and see what it's dictating to me.
I see.
If I've got a nice queen size bed with some beautiful pillows and things like that all day long, and if I can get into it, I have a wide enough lens. I like to get back far enough till I get that beautiful bed. Just sitting right there. And I'll tell you, you guys shared a secret. I'm going to share a secret with you guys too.
Yeah.
I use my cell phone for some of your Airbnb pictures.
Wow. There you go.
I do actually. No, but like for some of the close-ups, like the nice fluffy pillow on the bed or something like that. I will.
Wow.
I'll pull out my phone. I'll make sure it's nice and clean. Get in there.
You're touching it up in post at least, right? Or how is it looking?
I'm not. Yeah, because the quality is not the same as my mirrorless camera that I spent $3,000 on.
Right.
Even though these things are expensive.
Sure.
But yeah, so I'll take it into post. I'll clean it up a little bit, darken it where it needs to be, get rid of some of the noise.
Yeah.
Noise is all the little speckle stuff that you see when you take a picture sometimes when it's too dark.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll go through and I'll take some of the detail shots with my cell phone because they're small and they're easy to get.
You know what's funny? I was actually going to bring that up, that I really like the variety factor of what you do. It'll be like the big wide shot, the whole house. It'll be like, cool, here's the room. And it'll be like some decorative piece, like really up close, like the focus. I really like that. That mixes it up, keeps it spicy, sexy, interesting. So yeah, that's another, I guess, suggestion, because that's what you send us, and I love that.
Yeah, and that's something you guys can do easily too. If you change out some of the decor, or you have some nice art piece, like a guitar in the background or whatever,
right?
Just something like that. Your cell phone's fine. It's going to do fine. I mean, as long as you don't got like an iPhone 10 or something like that. the quality, it's not going to be the best quality. You're not going to get the best lighting, but you're not trying to get dynamic range, which means you're not trying to, get the outside as bright as the inside, things like that. You're just trying to get like a Smurf or something that's sitting on a bed, or some kind of game, or something simple basically. And don't go wide with it. Just go whatever it's going to come out of the camera, whatever the camera turns on to. Yeah,
interesting.
Just
that's
go
a cool
up there
tip.
and be like, here you go. And that
nice.
You get some great. It's great for like in the kitchen when you want to do like the coffee maker or something like that. Because I'll go in there and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all the wide pictures. I'm going to get some of the close-up pictures. But Airbnb, sometimes people break stuff,
right.
So, or they lose pieces to a game or something like that. So,
right.
Pull your phone out, get a nice shot. Just hold it still. Try to line it up right, and just take a quick shot. And you can add that to your listing.
What about lighting? Are you having a flash? No flash? Are you bringing one of these studio lights that we've got here? What are you doing?
I don't. So with the cell phone, sometimes I have one of these. This is
see, all right, see, Joe, he's like, oh yeah, just take a shit. Like he's got all the gadgets. He's like the MacGyver over here. Like he just pulled out I don't even know what that is, bro.
It's actually, these are magnetic under the cabinet lights.
Oh,
you take them out, you plug them in, you pop them underneath your cabinet, and you just, it's got like two little magnet pieces. You screw in or whatever, and then light comes on as you walk. They're usually sensitive or whatever, so when you walk in, they'll
that's brilliant.
They'll turn on and off for you. Yeah, we have them in our house, and we have them all over our house. It's great. Power goes out, I've still got light.
Nice.
But yeah, these little wands are great for like just simple little things. If you need a little extra light, it makes a difference. But like my bigger pictures, I don't use flash. There's two schools of shooting. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, there's two schools of shooting. There's what's called flambient photography, which is somebody comes in and they'll set up a flash. It'll be pointed backwards or something like that, and it'll light up the room so they can expose for whatever's outside the window, basically. And it brings out the shadows a little bit and cleans them up a little bit, but it also gives you some shadows. And then the way I shoot, I was taught, was bracketing. So like I'll take 3 exposures of the shot that I'm doing. One will be super underexposed, very dark, but the outside will be perfect. Then there's the basic shot that's normal that you'll see every day. And then there's one that's overexposed. So I have these and I send these off. I don't do my own editing. I send these off to get edited. Some guy does what's called a hand blending, and he puts these all together and he makes sure that this is lined up and the light coming through. So you can do it in Photoshop if you're really good. I've tried. Not my forte. I have a guy that does it for me that just does a fantastic job. And he sends them back to me all done and everything like that. Adds the fireplace stuff for me, TV stuff.
That's cool.
Turns on the TV. Yeah, all kinds of great stuff. But
that's something else that you do that I like is you'll like, I don't know if it's your guy or you or somebody, but you'll like take our most successful Airbnb it's got like some guy swimming on the TV, even though the TV was actually off when you shot it. I thought that was a cool touch. I was like, that is neat, dude. I didn't even know like that was
that I did. I know which one you're talking. I know which picture you're talking about.
You're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
just so some guy just doing like this.
Like, what?
Yeah, this breaststroke thing or whatever it is. Or
that was actually Joe swimming.
That was actually Joe swimming.
Yeah,
English
used to
channel.
be in a lot better shape,
plug.
right? Back when I didn't have to eat on the run all the time.
I've learned a lot. You've learned something. Hopefully, the audience has learned something. Yeah, wonderful. Any last questions, Vince?
How do you people get in touch with you, and then what areas do you work in?
So to get in touch with me, pretty simple. It's JTP, Joseph Thomas Pesiri, which is my name, studio. No, not studios or anything like that, just studio, jtpstudio.com. Cell phone number 949-922-1500. My email is basically info@jtpstudio. So really easy to get a hold of me. Check out the website and things like that. I'm always fielding calls, talking to people. I primarily stick to the Orange County area. I'm actually up in the I'm right on the border of LA County and Riverside, basically. Just above Orange County too. I'm like right in that little trifecta area right there that I'm at. So I go out to Fontana. I go out to Temecula, South County.
Okay.
I go to LA, but I charge more because it's just it takes me more time.
Yeah, just to get
to do pretty much
anywhere.
anything on in LA itself, be just traffic wise. So I try not to charge travel fees that much, but sometimes I do. I've gone to Palm Springs. I've gone to I've got a bag in a car. I'll go to Tennessee, not a problem. Cost you a little more money, but
so yeah, if you're in that area, I encourage you to reach out. He's our guy, and please don't steal him so much that we don't get him anymore. I'll be mad.
Right.
But thank you so much for your time.
3 weeks. No.
Yeah, thanks so much for your time, Joseph. We'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks,
boss.
man. See ya.
Take care, guys.
I don't know about you, but I definitely like to see 5-star reviews on any service or any product before I purchase. Please take a second to leave us a 5-star review, whether you're listening to it on Apple, iTunes, or Spotify, or whatever platform. Take a second, goes a long way, helps us a lot to grow the channel, and thanks for listening.